Imagine that you are in the middle of a big family celebration. There are laughs, music, and delicious dishes everywhere. Suddenly your sister, the one who has always been the most active and cheerful, is in a corner fanning herself non-stop. "I'm dying of heat," she exclaims with a nervous smile. Amid laughter, someone asks her if she's feeling okay. She, in the midst of another hot flash, responds with some resignation. "You know, it's menopause." A murmur arises around. Some with curiosity, others with empathy, and some with shy jokes that are not always well received. What lies behind that moment so common yet so intimate? Menopause is not just a biological process, but an event that marks a before and after in a woman's life. Despite being a natural occurrence, it is sometimes faced with fear or ignorance. Many times it is experienced in silence, without the necessary guidance to understand why. Suddenly, the body seems to ignite without warning, or why the mood can seem like a slide of unexpected emotions. But menopause is much more than those famous hot flashes. From a physiological point of view, it involves a series of profound transformations that affect bones, heart, mind, and metabolism. In other words, it is a comprehensive change that encompasses all dimensions of women's health. However, it also represents a huge window of opportunity. Understanding this process early and adequately can be the key to experiencing this new stage in a healthy, fulfilling way, free from the ghosts that often haunt popular conversation. Throughout this video, we will explore the basics of menopause and its relationship with age. We will break down the hormonal changes and discuss strategies to make this period an empowering chapter. We want to invite you on an informative and entertaining journey where stories and scientific data merge to keep you engaged and, above all, to provide you with practical tools. Menopause. A process, not a disease. The first key is redefining menopause. Historically, it has been marked as the end of youth or the beginning of old age, burdened with negative connotations. However, it is essential to understand that it is a natural biological transition similar to adolescence, but in the opposite direction. It is a process. It does not happen overnight, although it does have very marked turning points. It has a hormonal context. The female body stops producing eggs, and with that, the secretion of estrogens and other hormones essential for health is modified. It implies adaptation. Just like what happens when the body and mind adjust during adolescence, menopause requires a period of physical and emotional adjustment. Why is there still a veil of silence and mystery surrounding menopause? Partly because it is associated with aging in a society that values youth. Also because historically, women's health has been a topic surrounded by stigmas. But if there is something we want to make clear in this first chapter, it is that menopause is not a sentence of decline. It's a stage of life that can be faced with information and a positive attitude. Myth number 1. After menopause, my sex life ends. The reality is that sexual life can continue satisfactorily with the right guidance. Myth number 2. Hot flashes are the only thing that defines menopause. There are other symptoms and changes that are not as visible, but just as important, like bone health and cardiovascular health. Myth number 3. There is nothing I can do to reduce symptoms. There are many medical, nutritional, exercise, and stress management strategies that can make a big difference. A new stage, a new beginning. Menopause marks the end of a woman's reproductive phase. However, this does not mean the end of her productivity, energy, or passion for life. On the contrary, many women feel freer and in control of their time, using this stage to take care of themselves and focus on themselves in a way they hadn't considered before. For others, it could be a time of confusion and self-discovery. Either way, it's crucial to understand that this stage can be a turning point for redefining goals and regaining control over health. Why pay attention now? That transition period before menopause can gradually start from the mid or late 40s, sometimes earlier. Making positive changes in lifestyle and healthcare from that stage can have a huge impact on the quality of life in the following years. And if menopause is already present, it's never too late to take action. The following chapters will serve as a map to navigate this terrain with greater confidence. In Chapter 2, we will talk about the hormonal changes in aging, and focus on the crucial role these hormones play in both female and male vitality. So stay with us. This is just the beginning of an informative journey that could change your perspective on menopause and help you live this stage fully. Chapter 2: Hormonal Changes in Aging. Understanding the role of hormones in maintaining health and balance in maturity. Open your imagination to this scene. A clock inside you is ticking the rhythms of the body. In each phase of life, that clock adjusts its ticking to new hormonal coordinates. While we are young, we hardly notice those gears in motion. However, when we talk about the transition to menopause, something similar to a sudden reprogramming of that internal clock occurs. The ticking changes, the hands turn at a different speed, and the indicators that seemed so stable begin to fluctuate. In short, hormones are those invisible messengers that carry orders from one place to another, orchestrating practically all the functions of our body, from metabolism, body temperature and sleep quality, to mood, bone health, and muscle and fat body composition. During menopause, certain hormonal levels experience a dramatic drop, particularly estrogen, triggering a domino effect in multiple body systems. Why are hormones so important? Think of your body as a city with a complex transportation system. Hormones would be the buses or trains that carry passengers, the biochemical signals from one station to another, ensuring that each neighborhood, each organ or tissue receives the necessary instructions to function. If suddenly there are fewer buses or the routes change, everything gets out of control. Bone density. Estrogen regulates bone formation and resorption. When it decreases, bones weaken and the risk of fractures increases. Cardiovascular health. Maintaining flexible arteries and a good cholesterol profile partly depends on hormones like estrogen. Mood and brain. Hormonal fluctuations affect the production of neurotransmitters, neuronal plasticity, and even sleep quality, metabolism, and body composition. The balance between muscle mass and fat is greatly influenced by hormones, something that becomes more evident with the onset of menopause. Female hormones. The estrogen-progesterone axis. During the fertile age, estrogen and progesterone are the dynamic duo that regulate menstrual cycles and fertility. But estrogen does much more than prepare the body for reproduction. It also influences the maintenance of collagen and skin elasticity, distribution of body fat, appetite, and temperature control. With menopause, estrogen production decreases significantly and suddenly, creating an impact that goes beyond the reproductive aspect. Progesterone, in turn, also decreases, affecting mood stability and potentially increasing certain sleep disorders. Male hormones also come into play. Although in this video we focus on female menopause, it is important to note that men experience a hormonal decline, especially in testosterone over the years, but in a more gradual way. However, the principle is the same. Hormonal changes greatly influence how we age, whether we are men or women. The story of Sophia. A practical example. To illustrate this, let's imagine the story of Sophia, a 48-year-old woman, a worker, mother of 2 teenage children, who suddenly begins to notice peculiar changes, dizziness, and night sweats. She wakes up drenched at night, unable to easily fall back asleep. Mood changes. She goes from laughter to tears in a matter of hours without any apparent cause. Lack of energy. Despite having a similar routine to always, she feels more tired and finds it difficult to keep up. Weight gain. Her favorite pants fit tightly, especially at the waist and abdomen. Sophia wonders if it's work stress or a specific health issue, but her doctor explains that the declines in estrogen and progesterone characteristic of perimenopause may be behind these symptoms. This information changes her perspective, as she now understands that it is not just a temporary imbalance or an inexplicable issue, but a natural transition in her body. The domino effect of estrogens. The reason why the drop in estrogen is so noticeable is because it acts in various areas. In the bones. As estrogen decreases, decalcification accelerates and the risk of osteoporosis increases. In the cardiovascular system, estrogen helps to maintain healthy cholesterol levels and protects the walls of blood vessels. Its reduction implies a higher risk of hypertension and heart diseases. In the brain, It contributes to the modulation of neurotransmitters such as serotonin and dopamine, influencing mood and cognitive function. In the skin, less estrogen equals less collagen production, which affects the elasticity and firmness of the skin. Why is the change so abrupt in women, unlike men, whose testosterone decline, sometimes called andropause, is gradual? Women often experience a more pronounced change. In menopause, the main source of estrogen, the ovaries, drastically reduce their production. This means that within a few months or a few years, there is a significant drop in a hormone that has been present and functioning well for decades. That sudden imbalance is the cause of the famous menopause symptoms. The age factor is not just a number. Menopause usually occurs on average around the age of 50, although it can happen between 45 and 55. That doesn't mean that at 49 or 51, one day you wake up and suddenly everything changes. Rather, the process starts gradually in perimenopause, and in postmenopause, it settles permanently. However, biological age can vary from chronological age. There are women who start this process before 40, premature menopause, and others who go through it later. What comes next after understanding all this? Understanding hormonal changes is the first big step to eliminate guilt or uncertainty about physical or emotional symptoms. Seek professional support for proper diagnosis and treatment, if necessary. Adapt your lifestyle to the needs of this new stage. Nutrition, exercise, supplementation, stress management. Make informed decisions about possible hormone therapies and other medical approaches. In the next chapter, we will delve into how the drop in estrogen impacts specific aspects, such as cardiovascular health, bone density, and metabolism. Additionally, we will explore a window of opportunity that every woman should know to make smart decisions and prevent future complications. We will also look at strategies to strengthen muscles and metabolism, compensating for some of the protection that estrogen used to provide. This is the time to see menopause as an invitation to take better care of ourselves. On the other hand, the hormonal decline can present certain challenges, but it also gives us the opportunity to prevent diseases in time and rethink our lifestyle habits. Thus, when we reach the next station of our journey, we will have the necessary baggage to face postmenopause and age with fullness. Chapter 3. The postmenopausal stage and its challenges. How can hormonal decline profoundly impact women's health and what can be done about it? Do you remember Sophia, the protagonist of our story in the previous chapters? Well, several months have passed since she began experiencing perimenopausal symptoms, and now she is in a new phase, postmenopause. The hot flashes are less frequent, but she feels that her body has changed and that the challenges are different from those she faced at the beginning. Here is where the understanding of postmenopause comes into play. Once 12 consecutive months have passed without menstruation, the female body is officially considered in this stage. Let's look at what the most notable transformations are, and above all, how each woman can face this moment with a preventive and constructive attitude. 1. The sudden decline of estrogen and its effects. In postmenopause, the level of estrogen remains consistently low. This has a strong impact on various body systems. Cardiovascular system. Estrogen helps protect the arteries against plaque buildup and maintain the flexibility of blood vessels. Without it, the risk of high blood pressure and elevated cholesterol increases. Bone health. With less estrogen, bones wear down faster, increasing the risk of osteopenia or osteoporosis. Sophia noticed that when jumping or running, she felt more joint discomfort than before. Cognitive function. Although it is not a universal rule, many women report a certain mental fog or mild difficulties with memory and concentration, probably related to the absence of the neuroprotective effects of estrogen. Body composition. The famous postmenopausal belly can appear more easily due to changes in fat metabolism and insulin sensitivity. For Sophia, the most noticeable has been the weight gain, despite maintaining a similar diet to before. But postmenopause, it does not necessarily mean an automatic decline in quality of life. Information and early action can make a difference. The so-called domino effect in postmenopause. The loss of estrogen triggers a series of chain reactions. In daily life, this could manifest like this. Difficulty staying active, fatigue, and joint pain can cause the exercise routine to be gradually abandoned without clear motivation. More emotional vulnerability. Some women experience mood swings, irritability, or feelings of sadness. Less vaginal lubrication. That can impact sexual life, causing pain or discomfort. Not all women experience these changes in the same way or with the same intensity, but knowing that strategies exist to ease the impact is essential. 3. The importance of prevention and medical follow-up. Postmenopause is a stage where regular medical checkups become even more important. Having bone density tests, cardiovascular evaluations, and hormonal checkups can facilitate the early detection of problems and the application of appropriate solutions. Prevention of fractures. Maintaining bone strength through calcium, vitamin D, and moderate impact exercise can reduce the risk of osteoporosis. Control of blood pressure and cholesterol. Changes in diet, physical activity, and in some cases medication will help care for the heart. Attention to mental health. Stress and mood disorders may require psychological support or complementary therapies. Sophia, for example, discovered that after passing the 12-month mark without menstruation, her cholesterol levels had slightly risen. With a personalized meal plan and increased physical activity, she managed to stabilize it without the need for additional medication. The need for a comprehensive approach. The crucial thing about this stage is to understand it as a whole. It is not enough to attend only to the bone or the heart. Postmenopause involves changes in practically all aspects of women's health. That is why specialists often recommend a multidisciplinary team to address each situation in a coordinated manner. 5. A new chapter of life. Postmenopause is not just the final phase. For many women, it represents an opportunity to redefine their priorities. Instead of seeing it as a period of loss, it can become the perfect time to start postponed personal or professional projects, dedicate more time to physical activities that are enjoyed, like walking, swimming, yoga, or dancing. Adopt a nutrient-rich diet that strengthens the body and join support groups or communities where you can share similar experiences. Sophia decided to sign up for dance classes, something she had always wanted to try. She feels that being active helps her not only control her weight, but also releases endorphins and keeps her mind occupied with something positive. Chapter 4. Hormone therapy and other strategies for well-being. Exploring medical and lifestyle options to address the effects of menopause. Imagine walking into a doctor's office and finding a wall full of photographs of smiling women of different ages. The doctor who greets you comments, all of them decided to take some kind of measure against menopause. Each one chose a different path. There's no universal recipe here. This is how we could describe the world of medical interventions and lifestyle choices for the postmenopausal woman. Broad, diverse, and highly personal. One hormone therapy. Beyond the myths. Hormone therapy, sometimes called HRT for its initials in English, is one of the most debated options. However, when handled with an individualized approach and careful monitoring, it can offer significant benefits. Bone protection. By partially replacing the lost hormone, HRT helps to slow down the loss of bone density. Improvement of symptoms. It reduces hot flashes, night sweats, and vaginal dryness. Metabolic support. In some women, it helps maintain a better lipid profile and less abdominal fat gain. Still, it is not a solution for everyone. Factors like a family history of cancer, clotting problems, or certain pathologies should be considered to determine if this therapy is viable. The key is an honest dialogue with a healthcare professional, where risks and benefits are evaluated in a personalized way. 2. Lifestyle strategies. The essential complement. Even if you decide to start hormone therapy, lifestyle changes can make a difference in the quality and duration of its effects. Some fundamental pillars are balanced nutrition, prioritizing quality proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates, including calcium-rich foods, dairy products, broccoli, kale, and vitamin D. Strength and endurance exercise. Weights or training with elastic bands help maintain muscle mass and bone density, while moderate aerobic activities like walking or swimming promote cardiovascular health, stress control. Meditation, yoga, or breathing techniques can help mitigate mood swings and anxiety. Restorative sleep. Establish fixed schedules and relaxation routines before sleeping. Optimize the production of regenerative hormones, such as melatonin and growth hormone. 3. The window of opportunity and early prevention. For many women, the early years of postmenopause represent a key time when interventions, whether hormonal or lifestyle, have more impact. Taking care of the bones before demineralization advances too much is an essential strategy to reduce the risk of future fractures. Monitoring heart health through regular blood pressure checks and lipid profiles can prevent or delay the development of cardiovascular diseases. Strengthening muscle mass early prevents sarcopenia, muscle mass loss, from establishing and having a negative effect on mobility and metabolism. 4. Beyond hormones, supplements, and complementary therapies. Some women choose phytoestrogens, plant compounds similar to estrogen, found in soy or specific supplements, with varying results. Other approaches include herbal medicine, acupuncture, or psychological therapy. The most important thing is for each proposal to be integrated coherently, avoiding self-medication and always under specialized guidance. 5. Sexual life and emotional well-being. Sexuality in postmenopause can remain active and pleasurable as long as the physical and emotional needs of the new stage are addressed. The use of lubricants, open communication with the partner, and consultation with specialists, gynecologists, sexologists are fundamental guidelines. Care of the relationship, explaining the changes you are experiencing, sharing fears or doubts, and exploring new forms of intimacy. Self-esteem and self-awareness. Menopause offers the opportunity to reconcile with one's own body, accept the transformations, and discover new ways to enjoy sexuality. Comparing with the experience of men. Although the process in men is more gradual, a progressive decrease in testosterone, the message is similar. Aging healthily does not happen by chance. It requires consistency and commitment to overall well-being. The idea of working on muscle strength, taking care of the diet, and monitoring cardiovascular health applies equally to them. 7. For decades, menopause was seen as something better left unmentioned, or worse still, a synonym of old age and loss of value. Today, more women and health professionals are speaking up to say, this process is completely natural, and the more it is understood, the better it can be lived. Talking openly, sharing experiences in support groups or with family, taking the lead in decision-making, getting informed, and discussing with the medical team to choose the best route according to each case. Chapter 5. Strengthening the body and mind. How to combine nutrition, exercise, and emotional well-being to maximize health after menopause. Imagine the body as a house that needs constant repairs. With the onset of menopause, certain walls, muscles, bones, and metabolism weaken, and some pipes. Hormones and neurotransmitters begin to function differently. However, with the right tools, not only can major damage be avoided, but that house can be modernized and become a stronger and more welcoming space than before. In this chapter, we will explore practical strategies to strengthen the overall health of women, both physically and mentally. After menopause, everything with a realistic approach, which anyone can adapt to their daily routine, regardless of whether their experience with exercise or nutrition has been limited. 1. Nutrition, the first line of defense. Quality proteins, lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, and legumes are essential for maintaining muscle mass and repairing tissues. Including a protein portion in each meal helps stabilize blood sugar levels and prolong the feeling of fullness. Healthy fats, such as avocado, olive oil, seeds, and nuts, provide essential fatty acids that promote cardiovascular health and support remaining hormone function. Complex carbohydrates, whole grains, vegetables, and fruits provide fiber and vitamins that regulate energy steadily, preventing sudden glucose spikes. Key micronutrients. Calcium, vitamin D, and magnesium are essential for maintaining strong bones. It is recommended to supplement the diet with foods rich in these nutrients or under medical supervision. 2. Strength training and physical activity. For many women, the mere idea of lifting weights can cause some unease, but the benefits are huge. Increase in muscle mass counteracts sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, and improves strength and long-term independence. Stimulation of bone density. Resistance exercises, lifting weights, gym machines, elastic bands help maintain and in some cases increase bone density. Burn calories more efficiently. Muscle is a metabolically active tissue. This can help control weight even at rest. In addition to strength training, incorporating moderate aerobic activities such as brisk walking, swimming, or cycling promotes cardiovascular health and reduces stress. 3. Emotional self-care and stress management. Menopause can be accompanied by mood swings and irritability. Adding mental self-care practices strengthens emotional health and therefore overall well-being. Conscious breathing techniques. Practice deep and slow breathing. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold the air. Exhale to the count of 6. It helps regulate the nervous system during tense moments. Mindfulness and meditation. Developing the ability to be present helps calm the mind. Improve sleep quality and reduce anxiety through playful and relaxing activities. Painting, playing an instrument, journaling, or simply spending time in nature can be powerful tools against stress. 4. The support network and social life. Maintaining healthy interpersonal relationships reduces cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and enhances the sense of well-being. Finding an exercise group, walking with friends, or signing up for dance classes fosters motivation and a sense of community. Spaces for conversation or therapy, sharing concerns, fears, and victories with people who are in the same stage can be liberating and constructive. 5. The rule of consistency. No strategy will work overnight. The key lies in regularity. Small, constant changes generate great transformations in the long term. 2 strength training sessions a week may be more useful than a gym marathon for a month and then nothing. The same thing happens with diet and stress management. Persisting with small habits becomes a sustainable lifestyle. Chapter 6. Long-lasting tools and future vision. How to plan for a long, active, and fulfilling life after menopause. Imagine you have a map in front of you. You have charted the course to reach this stage of life, and now you're looking for the best route to keep moving forward. In menopause, having a long-term map allows not only to maintain what has been achieved, but to enjoy every kilometer of the remaining journey. In this chapter, you will find tools to organize your upcoming years with a preventive and positive approach, so that the word longevity stops being a sterile concept and becomes a tangible reality. 1. Medical adjustments and regular checkups. Bone densitometry. Perform this test regularly to measure bone strength. And in case of noticing accelerated loss, act immediately with supplements, exercise, or medical interventions. Lipid profile and glucose. Controlling cholesterol and blood sugar helps to detect cardiovascular problems or insulin resistance in time. Blood pressure control. Monitoring blood pressure prevents the silent progression of hypertension. 2 therapies and complementary aids. Personalized hormone therapy. Depending on genetic factors, family history, and overall health condition, a professional might recommend a hormonal approach. It's not the only option, but in certain cases, it can improve quality of life and prevent complications. Phytoestrogens are natural supplements. Some women choose these plant-derived remedies, soy, red clover, although their effects may be more subtle than those of conventional hormone therapy. Psychological support or coaching. Talking to a mental health specialist or a certified coach can provide tools to manage stress and emotional changes typical of this stage. 3. Planning a sustainable routine. Establish schedules. Design a weekly agenda that includes time for exercise, preparing healthy meals, and moments of rest. Ready meals and healthy snacks. Cooking in large quantities on the weekend or preparing balanced snacks helps avoid falling into unhealthy temptations during the week. Variety of exercises. Alternate between strength routines, cardio and stretching, or yoga. This maintains motivation and works different areas of the body. Future projects and personal goals. Sometimes, Life after menopause is seen as an endpoint, but it can be the best time to take up a new hobby, such as cooking, painting, crafts, gardening, and finding personal satisfaction. Being part of volunteer groups or social communities where one can share experience and knowledge with others, setting physical or sports goals, joining a hiking club, participating in 5-kilometer runs, or even signing up for swimming classes. 5. Leveraging technology. Nowadays, health and fitness applications provide extra help to stay focused. Step-counting apps measure daily activity and set achievable goals. Tracking calorie intake allows for greater control of macronutrients, vitamins, and minerals. Virtual communities, online groups and forums where you can share achievements, ask for advice, and keep motivation high. 6. Embrace a mindset of continuous self-care. Health, wellness, and longevity are not achieved through sporadic actions, but through the conviction that every decision, no matter how small, builds a stronger future. Menopause does not mark an end. It is the gateway to a chapter full of opportunities to rediscover inner strengths, connect with acquired wisdom, and project all that potential into the coming years. Orders and instructions to follow at the end of the video. Schedule your annual medical checkup. Make appointments to review bone density, lipid profile, blood sugar levels, and blood pressure. Bring any symptom records or changes you've noticed for a more accurate diagnosis. Design a balanced nutrition plan. Consult with a nutritionist if possible. Make sure to include protein in every meal and control the intake of refined sugars. Add fruits, vegetables, and whole grains to your daily diet. Establish a sleep routine of 7 to 8 hours daily. Turn off electronic devices at least 30 minutes before going to bed. Create a conducive environment, darkness, silence, and proper temperature. Evaluate natural supplements, phytoestrogens, omega-3, vitamins with specialized guidance. Seek or strengthen your support circle. Continue measuring your progress. Keep track of your exercise routines, your nutrition, and your mood. Adjust your plan as you discover what works best for you. I want to invite you to visit our health coach at tubisalud.com if you want to learn more about this topic. Our coach is ready to help you. Don't forget to share this video with your family and acquaintances. This helps us continue creating content like this. See you in the next one. A hug.